Hello, Guardians. It is Ebontis. It is October 19th. I think this is week 9 of Season of the Lost. And big thing is we're doing Shattered Realm, Ruins of Wrath on Legend difficulty. So the goal in here, I'm going to try and run it solo flawless. You don't have to run it flawless for any specific triumphs. Basically, there's one, you have to run one of these three on Legend difficulty solo to get one of the triumphs if you're going for that. Otherwise, you're just trying to complete this thing. Even if you run this in a group, you just have to complete it. So hopefully this guide helps you solo or as a group. But for Ruins of Wrath, you've got Unstoppable and Barrier. We'll discuss those. You got Locked Loadout. You got Match Game. Pretty standard stuff. You have Empath. So you're like, okay, Enhanced Radar. Take increased damage from melee. And Chaff. You have no radar. So really, you just have more damage from melee. Good times. Apparently this one trumps this one. For shielded foes, you have Solar Wizards. You're going to have like three or four in the first one, about 5, 6, 7 in the second one. And you have a really annoying single wizard, basically kind of as a mini boss, so you can do damage to the boss in the last one. But the Solar Wizards are really not the main worry here. The main issue is the Arc Knights. They are everywhere, they are very abundant, and you need to be able to take care of them somehow very consistently. So there's a lot of loadout options. I'm going to go through quite a few, kind of explain to you guys some options. If you want to jump into the gameplay, you guys can use the timeline, skip ahead. But I'm going to go through kind of the options, what I've used. I beat this thing twice already, so hopefully this helps. So for loadouts, the first thing you're going to be dealing mostly, this is all based around the Arc Knights. The Solar, we have some ways to deal with those. Let's discuss them. The first time I beat this, I beat it about like this. So I have a Solar Fusion Rifle for the Wizards, gives me some range, lets me put some damage into enemies once I break them. I've got the number as reasonable range on an auto rifle, and it allows me to consistently have infinite ammo on an arc weapon to be able to break the Knight's shields. I pretty much fired this thing all the time. Now, the surprising one that I actually pulled out and was happy I did is Arbalest. It's a kinetic linear fusion rifle, and it allows me to take advantage of Particle Deconstructor, which is the big damage perk this season. So depending on where your ammo situation, whether it's heavy or special, you've always got a linear fusion rifle on you that you can do damage to what you need to. So what this will allow, if you have Arbalest, which you can either get it from Xur, random exotics, but I know not everybody's going to have this, so don't worry, I've got some options here. Basically, if you break a shield, you can either pull out your heavy weapon, do some damage, or you can pull out your special weapon and also do a lot of damage that stacks up with Particle Deconstructor, and depending on what's going on, you can use that for pretty much whatever you need to. Now, at some point, Arbalest is actually going to get a intrinsic barrier perk buff to it. As of recording this video on October 19th, it does not have that. When this becomes a barrier weapon, it's actually going to be really fun for the rest of the season, so I hope we get it sooner than later. But after linear fusion rifles and Particle Deconstructor goes away, maybe less fun. But for the time being, if we can get this perk sooner than later, if this gets barrier, well then we're totally good. You can just melt pretty much everything you need and go to town. But the idea is you need a very consistent way to mess with arc shields. Now, I tried something like this. Main ingredient, and then I used an auto rifle up here or here, whatever it is. And this works to a point. If you're in that medium range, excuse me, if you're in that medium range and, you break the shield, then you've already got decent amount of damage on the enemy. You could switch over and finish. You can just get another mate ingredient shot and probably finish the knight that you're facing. It kind of worked. The only problem was the boss room, and some of the arc shields were so far away, I couldn't even touch them with this. So at medium range, it was not bad, but some got so far away, I needed a way just to even tag the shields to try and do something to them. So that's what made me switch over to the number first. Now, as we're talking about shields, you've also got another option, and I'm trying not to use exotics for most of this, so that's why I'm kind of running some of these options, but as I said, Arbalest is one I was using. But for a auto rifle, if you've got it, that covers all your shields, you can go Hard Light. Now, with Hard Light, it gives you some flexibility. You've got Arc if you need it. You've got Solar if you need it. This also will work as your barrier weapon, since we're over here and we've got Barrier and Unstoppable covered. And then, say you don't have Corsair's Wrath, but Banshee right now is selling a Tarantula that has Field Prep. It also has Rampage on it, which works too, but you have Field Prep, which gives you even more in reserves for your Linear Fusion Rifle. Good things. So this will allow you to take care of the Solar enemies that you need to, and Arc with infinite ammo. So you've still got your infinite ammo out of an energy weapon. You'll always be able to break a shield. Not a bad thing at all. And then you come down here, you've still got an arc weapon if you want to bust, you know, long range shields with this one. Still get your linear fusion rifle damage out of this. And then from here, you could probably run literally anything you want to up at the top, but for damage, probably something like a sniper rifle up here would be your best bet, because you've got your shields covered here. You've got linear fusion, so you've got your unstoppable and barrier covered, and this is just going to be a special weapon with decent damage output. You could run something like Ignition Code. You've got Concussion or Blinding, could shut down an area for a little while, give you a little peace and quiet to breathe, but that's up to you. I haven't used a grenade launcher in here. I'm not entirely sure I would love it, so that's just why I haven't done it yet, but this would be an option. Now, the one I just got done doing and beating this with was Borealis and a long-range, slow-firing auto rifle. This is False Promises. This was from Season of Arrivals, but it's pretty easy to get one of these. Subsistence, Rampage, it works, but basically any auto rifle will do. Take this one, for example. You just need something for a barrier weapon because you kind of got to have it and something to output some consistent damage. Now, if you go here, same thing applies to your heavy slot. You can use Tarantula, you could use Corsair's Wrath, you could use Threaded Needle if you've got whatever you've got for a linear fusion. I probably wouldn't go Reed's Regret just because it's Stasis, so it's not going to do any benefit on shields. But at least if you've got Tarantula, you can buy this from Banshee this week. I'm going to do a video literally telling you guys to do that later, but this is coming out first. But again, if you've got either of these, this covers all your shield types. It is a sniper, so then you would want to make sure you've got sniper reserves, things about like Sniper Scavenger to make sure you get some ammo for it, but there's so much ammo and I'm on the ground, I don't even know if those are really necessary, or having all the ammo finder stuff is what makes it drop on the ground. I never know, but I wish ammo wasn't quite as much of an issue as it is sometimes. Either way, I'm going to go through this thing with Legendary. I'm going to use Arbalest to show you guys one of the weirder loadouts for this, and then I'm going to run with Corsair's Wrath. So I've got Solar covered and Unstoppable. This does not count for Unstoppable, so make note. This will not actually work with Unstoppable Fusion Rifles. It will be a barrier later on whenever that buff gets in there, but for the time being, it is not going to work for either option. It is just a linear fusion rifle. It's a good way to get damage, but it doesn't give you any other benefits. So I've got my arc covered, I've got my solar covered, I've got my unstoppable, I've got my barrier, and this is just going to be bonus damage that stacks very well with this. So I've got particle deconstructor, stats down here. I'm going to have my scavengers. So I've got this guy. Now, I would recommend running Void Boots. Why? Two things. One, you get Protective Light. If you can pick up a charge with light, then you're going to have a chance every so often to be able to take more damage before you die. There's plenty of times you're going to take a ton of damage. This is something that will help you stay alive if you can get those charged with lights every so often. Also with Void, your health begins to regenerate immediately after picking up an orb. If you are running around, you can get to an orb. Trying to get this one, you can get some health back. Anything else after this, just throw it into some stats. I'm doing recovery because getting your health back quicker is going to be a good thing. Now, you got watch your options here, but depending on what your stats are at, try not to waste anything either. Like 69's not doing anything, I'll probably move some stuff around. So as I was talking about, if you go solar or if you go arc, make sure you go solar resistance and then you can go concussive damper. If you don't feel like you want either of those, maybe your highest energy is void, then definitely throw linear fusion reserves on there. That's up to you. I'm just going to try both of these to help keep me alive. And then from there, got a little shield break charge, which you're probably going to get a lot out of shield break charge. And then any stats you can get again here as well. We're going to come down to this. I've just got shield break charge on both. So I'm actually going to switch this over to taking charge. That'll kind of max that one out a little better. Shield break charge, stat increase. And then I'm running Mask of the Quiet One. And my advice, as usual, on any of these is find some way to stay alive. So if you go Titans, Mask of the Quiet One, One-Eyed Mask, Crest of Alvalupi, find some way to heal yourself. Cast a barricade, you get some health. Kill the thing you marked, get an overshield. If you win critical, if you get a kill, you get health. Good ways to get health. Hunter, Wormhusk Crown, always a good thing. And I feel like there's one other that I'm missing. Somebody probably mentioned it last week on it. Liar's Handshake. If you do manage to melee something, you'll get some health back, but I wouldn't be too close to melee something if you can help it. But also if like you can dodge, you can go invisible. Find the ways that work for you guys. I'm like lacking on my hunter information, I feel like sometimes. And then Warlocks, of course, you can go Stag, you can go Rift, so you've got health and damage reduction. Stag would be the best way to probably stay alive in here, so that's my advice to run there if you want to. You probably got another option if you really are going for it, but my advice just for survivability right now, Stag's probably pretty solid. So I know that is a long explanation for the loadouts, but that is the main reason I wanted to cover it. You've got a lot of ways to tackle this, just make sure you have arc covered. So let's jump in. I'll show you guys what this is all about. We'll see if we can get this thing done. Guardians, so when you run in, this is like my third attempt at a flawless. If I don't get a flawless, I'm just gonna kind of edit it together for you guys. Because at this point, I do want to get the guide out for you, so you've at least got something if you're wanting to work on it. The deaths I've had are kind of stupid. They're like little dumb ones here and there that probably shouldn't be happening, or getting caught out of position a little bit because I'm explaining one thing and not doing the other. But overall, this one isn't so bad for the first two beacons. Like, I've managed it pretty well. And honestly, like Borealis, the sniper I mentioned that I'm not using right now, is actually probably the way I would go. The more I use it, it's just a bit more accurate at far range. And especially after, like, Corsair's Wrath, when I'm going for some of these wizards and I'm, like, missing my shots, it's actually really a good choice, and you can manage all your shields with it. So, if you got Borealis, like, bust it out, it's probably easier. I just want to show you actually that Arbalist, and if Arbalist had Barrier, then we'd be having a little different discussion, because then it's got a whole different use. But overall, see if I can get this thing done. Hopefully it's a flawless run.
The beacon is aligned. Get ready for an attack.
And the main thing is you're going to be using this wall right here as cover. Pretty much the whole time. You can have some ads coming down. They're going to be coming out of the ships. I whiffed my shot there. Yeah, you guys can see these stairs. The guys will be hopping down, and they're just going to kind of march into you. And you're going to be dealing with the knights from range. You're going to have these two boxes on each side. And this is where you have to have a consistent source of arc damage to manage these knights. Now, it's a barrier weapon, so I can at least work through it and then delete them. That's kind of the nice way to work it. So that's kind of what you're going to try and do. You're trying to do damage with your arc weapon, break the shield, and then catch them at a point where 1 or 2 shots later, you can take out the knights with some type of fusion rifle, whether it's Arbalist, whether it's your sniper, whether it's whatever you're running through here with. I'm enjoying actually getting to use Arbalist just for a change, but honestly, like, it works pretty well, but it's not like the only thing that you can use in here. Honestly, I had fun doing it the other way with just the sniper. Like this, if you can get the double stun before he puts his shield up, that's a fun way to do it. And tag him once, the next shot's going to do more damage, and 2 shots after a shield break, they're pretty deleted. And you notice I just keep shifting sides. Pretty much all you need to do over here. Watch grenades. Use the cover, and if you shift sides, they're usually going to be looking one way, so then when you pop up, need to grab a little ammo, do that. Need to catch them from behind, you can. Need to catch somebody sleeping on the job, you can do all that fun stuff from over here. Just be aware if you creep up that you can also get surprised at a few points, so just know that that's possible. Some grenade throws are probably going to happen. See this one, if I can go for the delete. I didn't get the good shot there. That was a few too many shots, but I know I've got ammo plenty around. So it's like, if you start seeing ammo being very abundant all over the place on the ground, get aggressive with your shots. Just have and just like try and finish the guy off. Because I noticed myself in these runs having a ton of ammo on the ground. I don't know if ammo finder's working well. I don't know if it's the double linears, but special and heavy ammo is not that hard to come by on this one. For some reason, just the number of ads or whatever you're killing. Also, you're in the Shattered Realm, so if you kill a champion, you are guaranteed a heavy brick if you've got your compass unlocked as well. Don't forget about that. Speaking of champions, our barrier is up. I'm going to chunk a grenade, see if I can get a good bounce up there. That was a terrible one. But at this point, try and watch what's up there. But the big thing is you've got your barrier champion. When you're on legend difficulty, you've got to get the barrier champion pretty close to that first, like, health chunk line. So work them down slow. When you get close to that health line, then just make sure you're ready. Make sure whatever you're going to kill him with is reloaded. Make sure you got good amount of damage on your barrier breaking weapon as well. Then if you find him, turn him this way. Yo, buddy. Hey, dude. Now get ready for the barrier break. He's going to do it right now. Now, 2 shots and he's down. That's the idea. Be ready when the shield break is actually going to happen, and you're going to be a lot better off. These are the few guys that are going to try and get aggressive on you. That's a cute health bar. I don't even know what happened there. But these guys are going to be kind of aggressive on the shields. Every so often a finisher is just fun to do. I'm just running around like an idiot, grabbing ammo. It's fine though, it's not too bad. Those grenades though, they got some range and some accuracy. Everybody went to drag grenade throwing school. Everybody throws grenades like a champ, it seems. Again, use what cover you have. I'm just getting a little more aggressive right now just to show you guys you've got room to work. And then when certain phases, then I'm going to tell you to back off. But for now, you can definitely move a lot. But the Acolytes are annoying because they just make things a bit more interesting everywhere with all the grenade tosses. See the ammo starting to float on the ground? I'm not really hurting for ammo. Now, reloading at that point's not the best. Oh, you booger. And that's the point where I'm going to try and chase him down just to get the kill. Now, if you get down to like 1 or 2 guys and you can go grab some extra ammo, just do it. And then kill like the last guy, and you'll know you'll get a big spawn when that big shield pops. Next thing we're getting is wizards. So if you want a good clean shot at them, do it now. I can get at least one of them down, but if you can get both, that's probably even better. Alright, that's both wizards. That was probably the better way to go after those, just because it keeps them from like roaming to this platform. So if you can clear most of it out, and then the wizards spawn, go for those pretty aggressively with whatever you're going for solar. Whether it be sniper, hard light, just break them and kill them fast. The wizards are more annoying than anything. They're not that big of a deal, because you can always kind of hide back here and cover, but if they get on this low platform, they tend to be a bit more annoying because they're so close. And you'll notice these little boxes, the Acolytes will like hide behind them, and then depending on which side you're on, they're going to peek out every so often and try and catch you. If you're on your game, they're really not a big deal, but just that's where they do tend to peek out a lot. And that's a lot of guys. Indeed it was. Ogres. So at about 70% you're going to see ogres. I haven't seen the specific champion pop, but when you kill one of the ogres, the other ones are going the champion is likely going to come out. So just be ready. And if you're using Arbalest, also remember, one's down, champion's about to be right behind him. If he's not out already. Would actually be surprised if he's not. Can you just die? Okay, now he's forgotten. Now the champion, if he's not out yet, he definitely will be. Remember, whatever your unstoppable is, it's probably your linear fusion heavy. Arbalest does not count. At some point later, it's going to be barrier. Okay, I'm going to kill like one guy, and then we're going to get a champion. At some point. At the feeling, at least. Any second. That's that little peek. Just watch the bottom left and look for that champion spawn. There it is. Told you it was coming. Once you find him, get a good look. Wherever he creeps to, try and stop him up top if you can, and then just go for the kill up there. Keep him out of it. Now, once he's dead, 2 ogres are dead and the wizards are down. You just have acolytes, so play it smart, and this one's easy. From here, the rest goes pretty quick. Just find all your acolytes from here and work them down. Uh, 90%. There's usually a couple stragglers up top, so just take a look, see if you can find them. That's why you want an auto rifle with some range. That's why actually the 360 auto rifle I was using was really good. Because for one, it had subsistence, and it hit hard enough that I'd kill like 4 or 5 of these guys without going through a full clip. 95%, any more stragglers, it might actually be done. But if you see the amount of ammo on the ground, you're kind of good. Just watch those guys over here. That's why I don't ever get too close on this side. Well, that's number 1. It's basically a whole lot of patience. Just watch for your champions. Watch for the knight with the sword. And then when the unstoppable champion comes out, make sure you find him and delete him. Let's head to Beacon 2. Watch your jumps in here. If you take the path I show you, I can tell you it's going to work. So just be careful. Usually try and go from high ground to low ground. Going to give you a chance in these slow jumps. A ship does come out and start shooting you, so it gets to be a little interesting through here, so watch that. But just try to keep moving is the biggest way I can say this. Because those shots are going to damage you probably a little bit, but if you keep moving, they're not too bad as long as you don't stop. And then once you get over here, you can go full double jump method and we're good. Now, I want to call this a flawless video, but if I get through this one and I die on the third one, I'm just going to go ahead and call this what it is, a mostly completion, and I guess I probably shouldn't title the video flawless, I just want to. I don't know who was even shooting at me. We're going to clear out Beacon 2 now, the pre-Beacon 2 stuff. You could die here and it'll still kind of count as a checkpoint, but in the middle of the beacon fight, that's when you actually have to get the full clear. That's why number 3 is so difficult, and you'll see why. But up to now, it's really not too bad. See if you got any stragglers. Anybody walking on water. Charged with light's always nice to have. Okay, so when you spawn the beacon, first set are going to spawn right up here. Apparently this guy's going to be right here too. So first set are going to spawn here. You're going to have some wizards. Then a little bit through that, you're also going to have some wizards that spawn right over here. So most of your first phase of fighting is going to be on this side with some range. That's why the sniper actually works very well here. Again, Borealis works. I'm just showing you guys an Arbalest run for more entertainment value than anything. About halfway through, once you've cleared most of the ads and you've got everything done, things are going to start spawning over here. You want to flip, and you actually are going to want to go over there and fight where everything spawns from. If you can get through this phase, fighting from over there, you can take it as slow as you want to, I promise. But this first part, there's a Shrieker at about 25-ish% you got to watch out for.
But there are enemies closing on your position.
So just be careful. So when these guys spawn in, I'm going to try and throw a grenade up here just to see if I can get a good break. Got a few of them. Take it. And then I'm going to run back to my little pillar of safety and work some things from here. Now, from here, you're going to notice a lot of acolytes come this direction. They're going to come marching over. There's your wizards that are going to be around. Acolytes are going to start coming. And they're going to start coming at you. Just watch and see if any wizards are close enough to do damage. Acolytes, not a big deal. They're going to start funneling into this area. But the big thing to watch for is to make sure nobody, for one, comes behind you. So just keep your ears open, but hopefully it's not an issue at this moment. But the wizards are far away over there. And just make sure you don't have anybody on this side kind of flank you too bad. So if you're over here kind of aggressively taking these out, most of the acolytes will work their way to you. I don't know what he's firing at up there. That's probably where the Shrieker is going to be, so maybe that's what they're shooting at. I don't know. But the wizards are going to be around. You also notice some fun teleporting in here. So when we get to the second section, I'll show you why you don't want to be too aggressive. But yeah, if you can find a wizard and kind of get their shield shot. There's 2 down, not bad. Now, I'm in a place where I'm going to try and grab a little ammo. And I want to get in cover before I get exposed, because I'm about 22%. 25 to 30 is when that Shrieker spawns, so I want to make sure I am safe from the Shrieker, which is going to be over there. At some point, you do have to stop firing, right? And this is honestly why the sniper is almost better. So there's a champion up. Why these guys are allowed to teleport behind me, I have no idea, but that Shrieker is your main priority. So this is where linears work fairly well. Wait for the breaks in its firing. Every so often you're going to get a time where it's not actually firing. Couple crits, it's down. But if it starts tagging you, you are going to take some pain. So again, look for the shield. Try and go for the break. If he hides that far back, there's not a lot you can do about it, I'll be totally honest. Shrieker's down though, we are going to be a little safer now. So we can move up a smidge. Try and see if we can find our wizard fun. But again, some of these guys' health is playing real funky right now. We're at about 33%, so just watch your tail. You're going to have a lot of stuff like behind that rock over there. Sniper actually worked really well here. I'm going to say that a lot just because I'm honestly making it a bit more difficult on myself. But I'm saying that as like after playing with the sniper and then the arbalist first, like arbalist was fun, but like the sniper was just like much more convenient. You could literally hit all damage types. Only thing is just like ammo because it's kind of your arc weapon. But if you go with like Tarantula as also arc, you're going to have backup for all the knights. So really, if you go Borealis, Tarantula, decent long-range auto rifle, you should be in reasonable shape. Now over here, probably a little risky for me to walk over here because some of the ads can get here. But now you can start getting a little closer to some of these wizards, depending on where they're at. That guy I can delete. There's our barrier knight. The wizard's the more important part. Not the barrier knight as much. I just want the wizard dead. Don't really care about too much else. Now the barrier knight you can hit, depending on where he goes. I don't know how I've hit him twice and not done any damage to him, but that's fun. The barrier knight I've had up here where I am. I've had him in a lot of spots. But just like anything else, when he goes to break his shield, be ready. Hit that spot, and then see if we can get a couple crits. Again, if I gotta switch weapons, I'll do it. And again, make sure, if you know you gotta trigger the health, then do it. But just know that you have enough ammo to do it. Basically, if you go to kill, and there's the sound you're looking for. When you hear that sound of the ships coming, come over here, you should be safe. Nothing will actually come all the way over here this far, but some things definitely teleport. Let me tell you, it's fun. All the ads are going to be over there. You can have fun, shoot the shields, do what you got to do. But you'll notice some of the ads, all of a sudden, they're just like magically right over here. Like, how'd you get there that fast? You probably shouldn't be there. Well, they get there no matter what. And the big reason I'm going to tell you not to go over there and fight anything too close is if you're down where that guy is right there, you're probably going to end up in the middle of some other guys. And again, if you ever need to get any health, literally just come behind this rock and nothing can hit you back here. It's pretty safe. But again, if you have a sniper, peek out over here and probably take some guys out. I'm going to use my auto rifle to take out some of these acolytes. But just work whatever you can see. And again, if you need to get your health back, work down a couple random mid-level acolytes. Anybody jumping around like crazy. Again, it's long range for an auto rifle, but you have infinite ammo, so you can get the job done. The biggest thing about doing this one the whole way through is patience. And also, solar resistance seems to be wonderful for that. I think one of them fell down, but there's plenty more to fire at. Damn it. Wow, not so good on the shots right now. I want to hit these two with, like, my grenade. There we go. Not so good. There's another one down. But again, there's a lot of guys, and they just keep teleporting. If there's one somewhere in the world that's alive, just know that they're over there. Now, I could probably go smash them with my super, but I also could probably die trying to do that. Now, the only problem with them is they do tend to get their health back. So if you want to get a little more aggressive, you can come up here and use this upper level. Just know that some of the guys can hit you from up here. And they also seem to be able to jump all over the damn place. But if you ever need to drop, you can drop back here and you should be safe back here as well. So you've got two sides to work from, and nothing really too detrimental is going to get close enough to you that you're really at risk. So it's just patience, and don't jump down where those guys are, basically. That's the big thing. Just don't go down where those guys are, because you might be like, oh, I got one or two of these guys. I was doing that with, like, main ingredient. I was down there killing them. And all of a sudden, two more would teleport on top of me, and I was dead. Now, if you get to a point where most of it's dead and you can go for an ammo run, yeah, that's totally fine. I'm at 63%. I'm not done. There's at least another barrier set that will be coming. But I needed some ammo. And again, use what you can. Move around a little bit, but if you need to start deleting some guys... And again, they will they tend to teleport right to you. I don't know where that grenade went. I think the ether just ate it, but that's fine. This is just a patience run. This whole thing. I'm going to say that a lot. If you don't force this one, and you've got ways to stay alive, just patience, you can get through this one pretty well. Now if he puts up his shield, I can kind of counter the shield with some bullets, and then switch over. Get the deletion there. Hopefully that ammo I can pick up and it didn't fall down into Nothingville. So yeah, we're at 20 minutes. As I said, this is not going to be the fastest run in the world. It's just a run to get you there. Got a shield pop. It's fine. And again, you notice I can kill the whole thing with an auto rifle. It's just going to take me about 6 years to do it. So use the special ammo every so often is going to make your life a little bit more manageable. Last phase, now you're going to get your acolytes. You're also going to get some barriers. There he is. We're at 76%. Again, none of this is like hard to kill from here. Just use the positioning. If you ever see the ships flying in over there, you should be coming over here pretty quick. Watch the acolytes. I tend to focus those down more just because, as you can see, their grenade throws are epic. I had one really good grenade throw. I'm going to throw that in like the outtakes just because I'll never going to get a grenade throw like that one. It was like the long bomb. It's like I went to drag grenade school for a change. But again, you can sit here and just plink these guys down. Patience, patience, patience. Fun times. If they're going to keep jumping at me, I'll keep killing them. This is why subsistence on an auto rifle in here did really well. Like my 360, it's not a great auto rifle, but like subsistence and rampage, when I need range like this, worked really well. Good duck and roll, I'll give them that. Now, if you really want to prompt one of these guys, if they're close and they haven't popped their shield yet, hit him once with something big, and then you know he'll do it. And that way you know you've got enough in your magazine. You can switch to whatever linear you've got. You can kill them with one of each. More fun to do it that way sometimes because it's entertaining. Alright, the only thing left in here should probably be a random straggler, unless I'm totally done. Everything big should be dead at this point. The ammo I have in this place is crazy. There's probably an acolyte somewhere. Yep, there's one. Probably one more. That's it. So as I said, ammo doesn't seem to be an issue. As long as you can go from one side to the other, kill enough guys, ammo seems to be really abundant. It's just about patience and positioning. And if you can manage the Shrieker after about the 25%, remember, first side over here at about 20%, get behind this. As soon as you hear that Shrieker, wait for the break in the firing, which happens, you know, every so often you'll hear it. Take it out. Watch if the ads are behind you. If you got to pop a super back here just to clear a few acolytes, do it. And again, don't forget about your supers. I didn't have a great place to use mine here, but if there's a point where, you know, you say you have Thunder Crash and there's a bunch of knights right here and they're all arc, smash your Thunder Crash right here and then go hopping back where you were. Clears them out just faster. So the last part of this one is a bit chaotic, and I think that's putting it very, very mildly, basically. But first thing before we get up there, after this, you're going to have a ship coming in. And it's going to fire these little shots at you. So my advice is just run up here quick. Don't stop moving. And then just hang behind one of these little urns. Just here and crouch. So now's a good time just to check, reload everything, see if you're good. Gather a little bit of sparrow. You know, adjust yourself in your chair. Wait for all the shots to go away. They should be good. Now we're going to clear the pre-Beacon 3 room. Okay, the ship was not done. Are we good now? Thanks. The red bars go down in one shot, if you notice. Sometimes you get to delete them. Now, when you creep in far enough, there is going to be an unstoppable ogre up there. So just if you're going to run through the middle, grab any ammo, do it briefly. And then watch the grenades from the acolytes on the side. And then just see what's up. If you break a shield, go for the delete if you can. I'm getting no points now, which is fine. There's our unstoppable. He's up top, so get your shot ready. Done. 1, 2, 3 should be done. The stacking damage does wonders. That's why still particle deconstruction is good. Check both sides. But again, you're likely going to be good on ammo. Once these guys are all down and the knights are down, why am I still being hit that hard? A couple more acolytes than I thought were going to be there. This isn't a place, I think you'll still be able to respawn right here. It's not like you're in respawn restricted time. There were just a few more guys than I thought up there, so pull back if you ever need to. Looks like I got a little bit of ammo, a little generosity there. And a piece of armor. Alright, so in this room, you can only go as far back as right... I would probably say like right... Is it here? I think it's right here. Basically right here, there will be an invisible wall. So you have these two little cubbies that you can hide in. Now, after about like 70%, I've actually seen the boss come marching down these stairs right here. So like every so often, I'll usually jump up and usually get a little cover with this pillar. Or I'll jump to the other side and I'll do most of my work from these two spots. Either over here, over there, or down in the middle at first. Basically, the way this works, some of you guys may or may not know, you're going to have the big knight, you're going to be able to do some damage to him at first. Don't touch him. He's going to spawn a wizard, and you only want to spawn that wizard when it's basically just you and him and that wizard, because that's going to basically be your damage phase. So, you're going to try and whittle down all the other adds first. Everything, far away, close up, whatever you can do. Because when you go for damage phase, you're going to want to do as much as you possibly can. Now, I'm not going to use my super, but Thunder Crash and some linear fusion shots nearly killed it. So if you've got Chaos Reach, Thunder Crash, Golden Gun would be a viable option. Again, if you have Arc covered and this covered, Golden Gun's going to be a viable option for big damage on the boss. As you've seen, I haven't used it yet, so use whatever you want to use. But the big thing is, when you go to do the damage phase, you're going to want to do a lot. I don't know if you can one phase him per se. I don't know if he's like gated. I've killed him fast in normal, but legend he seems to get. I got him down to about a quarter left or so. But most of my work is going to be done from the back of the room, and it's a bit chaotic. So, Beacon 3, cross our fingers. If I have to redo this one, I'm just going to cut it in. So, flawless or not, here we go. Cross our fingers, we get it done though.
That's the last beacon. Sivu-Arath's forces are converging on the area.
So as everything comes in, if you want... Now, you'll notice that little ball right there. That's basically what a wizard normally casts, but that's by the boss. So every so often, those things are just gonna appear. And there's a lot that comes at you. Now, I have solar resistance, which will probably help a little bit. But your idea at first is probably going to try and find some of these guys that you can actually hit from down here. And if you can get them high up enough that you can see them. And then every so often it's going to be a little too much. So this is why this little area at first is kind of your little baby safe haven. Some of these guys are going to be close enough you can probably hit them and kill them. Or hit them with a grenade maybe. Yeah, my little stun grenades, or if you do choose to go grenade launcher, blinding or concussion grenades to like stagger them a little bit, gonna be a good thing. But you'll notice, creep around in this little hole down here and do what you can to find the damage spots that you're able to. And every so often you can kind of peek your head up. Now, if you're brave enough to come up here, you might find some more fun up here. But also notice that little orb appears, and that's from the boss. Not a lot you can do, but if you feel it, you gotta move. Not a bad time, not a good time to have to reload. Acolytes are up here too. Every so often, chunk a grenade. That's why it's a good thing to have some grenades up. And again, if you pull back and you can find a guy to hit, you might be able to get some damage on it. But also, you just gotta be quick if you go for that shot. When you start to thin things out, it doesn't get to be quite as chaotic. It's crazy at first, believe me. And there's the boss thing, so you want to make sure you shift which side of this thing you're working in. Don't shoot the boss. I haven't shot the boss there. I don't even really want to do that. So again, this is a little chaotic, but doing a lot from down here in this little safety area will help you. Alright, so if I got some breaks, And they're blinded. That's going to help. But again, you're trying to do basically no damage to the boss, because if you do enough damage to get the wizard out, it gets to be a lot more chaotic. More than it already is, which you're like, really? Yes, yes, much more. Now, if you want to clear some of the ads on the side, this is when I'll usually creep up here, see what's working on the side. You're going to have some acolytes over here chunking grenades. It's a good time to take some of these guys out. Find the ones you can. Again, the sniper was wonderful in here, actually. So Borealis is probably what I would say to go with first. Now you notice that's a sword guy. He's going to be around. And if you feel like you get overrun on one side, well, go to the other. You're going to have stuff to do on both sides for a little while. So it's a good time to work both sides. Notice you got the sword guys hovering way in the back. Couple acolytes. And again, if you get the little pain field on you, just switch. Most of the middle seems fairly cleaned out now. Again, that little pain field on you is annoying, so be careful about it. And just a little back and forth. This is why a ranged auto rifle or the sniper really, really is good. And if you ever get to the point where that shield is down, just pull out something heavy and take him out. Alright, so we're getting close to our first damage phase. Not a ton left. There's a couple knights in the back that are going to be sword knights. So if you can pull those up to you, again, don't do damage to the boss until you're truly ready for the full damage phase. But again, if you find the sword knights and you can take them out, that's not even a sword knight. But now is also a good time when it's lower to go for all the ammo you can, because you're going to want to put everything you can into the boss, and there's not a great specific way to do this. That's the shield fun. Pretty much just have him and 2 sword knights on the back, but as I'm going to be near him for damage, I want to make sure I kill these guys if I can. So we can get a little more aggressive now. Is he coming at me? Oh god, yeah, he is. If he comes marching, holy crap! You're going to want to reset him. If sometimes he will march down there. If that happens, he will generally not come back on top of you. He should pull back to kind of a normal state. Every so often, I swear there's like a trigger so you don't sit down here too long. I'm glad you guys saw that. But yeah, he can totally come. If you hear him marching, just know he's in angry mode. And it does actually happen every so often. It's not something I really expected, but it definitely did occur. He's back. I don't know how long he chases you. If you pull him down below, then make sure you don't stay down there. He doesn't actually fire, but he's just going to be there. Well, there's proof of that fun part. That's a little slow field of doom. Probably worse if he chooses to march on your head. So basically what we're looking for now is I'm trying to kill the last couple ads, and it's just not playing nice for me to get a good angle on them because they're so far back there. That's why the sniper was actually better. I just want everything, literally everything in here dead if I can help it. Is he going mad? Nope, he's just casting that. I can work with that. But if I can have nothing but me and him up and then a wizard at some point, that's pretty manageable. I want the last knight guy down. There we go. Okay, everybody's down. So now when you tag him, basically you do any more damage, it's going to spawn a wizard, solar shield. When you kill the wizard, there's a wrath field that you can either stand in, which is not smart, or you can take that and then do damage to him. But all you have to do is basically break the shield. So now notice that shield's up. Wizard will spawn. As I said, solar shield. Now, wherever that's at, that's where you're going to get to start your damage. So give it a second. Let this go away. Get your Wrath up. Do your damage to him. Once the shield is broken, then you can start your damage phase. And you have as long as you can stay away from him. There's also going to be a lot of ads up here. Heavy's going to be a good thing to throw out now. Oh, man. Okay, those look like ship shots coming at me. Got about half damage in. Not as much as I wanted to get. But that's probably about all I'm going to get to stay alive. And we're to phase 2 now. The same thing's going to apply. Now, in theory, I could probably pop my super here. Now I could die, just being stupid and aggressive. No! Come back to my hidey home. Ah! I hate that. That's so cheap. I'm like not even in remote visibility, and now the wizard's up the whole time. That's the problem with this phase. The second phase, the wizard's here the whole time. So you have to deal with the wizard and everything we did the first phase. So all the grenades, all the knights, all of everything else that was there before, with a wizard going crazy at you too. Hence the chaos. That's why these two pillars really become strong places to fight from, because the wizard's usually not going to be on both sides. So if it goes to one, switch to the other. If you got anything like a well or a wall or whatever you got, now's your time to shine. Oh, that's a grenade that's gonna... Yep, that totally flashbanged me. Cool. Ow, it's my head. But again, take the shots that you get. Don't force this one. You made it this far. Whether you're alive, whether it's flawless or not, take the shots that you get and work the ads down to slowly work on clearing the room. You can thin this thing out. You may not get them all, but you can make this more manageable for sure. There's a Barrier Knight out there, by the way, as well. If you get this far, Barrier Knight, that's a new thing. Also going to have a few exploding thralls at some point, so just be aware that those can be possible. That's why I'm not roaming around out there much now, at this point at least. And it's mostly a patience game. Ow. Just seems so cheap to be able to be like, oh, invisible field of doom on your head. I killed an acolyte with that shot. That was wasteful. But now is the point. Every so often the boss comes marching down. At least you've seen it and you know what you got to do. Just run like a crazy person. And now the wizard's mad. So watch your angles with that damn wizard because it gets really spicy. That's why if you break a shield and you can do any damage to anything, take it and switch. There we go. Got a couple knights down. Couple random thrall roaming. There's our barrier guy. Again, watch your back on the splash damage. There's a point I'll probably have to get aggressive on the barrier knight, but I just have to have a good angle and also mess with the wizard. Now, if you kill the wizard, I don't imagine that spot's actually just going to sit there, but we can test it just for entertainment value. Now, the wizard's actually dead. I'm guessing that spot's only going to hang there for so long. So my assumption would probably be that if that wizard spot stays there, it's not going to be there for good. Ow. And at some point it'll fade and probably another wizard's going to spawn, which is fine. It gets the wizard out of the room for a little while. Yep, wizard's back. It's just going to come back. So at least you know how that works, just to prove it to you. I figured that's what it was. I just wanted to be sure about it. Alright, I'm getting to the point where I kind of want to pop the barrier guy if I can find him. Not great that he's standing behind the boss. That's not helpful. It's helpful for him, not for me. I mean, this is chaotic, but really it's just me hiding in the back until I get a good shot at all this stuff. It's mostly what's happening here, if you can't tell. And then it's like, oh, you got a good setup? How about an invisible, about a little field above your head that you can't do anything about? This is why you want an auto rifle. Anything with unlimited ammo just to manage all this craziness in the middle until you really thin things out. Just a whole lot of auto rifle time for a while. Gonna be your friend. Ow, 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 ow. Watch that health too. That is why right there, the protective light, if you ever do break the shield, which I'm doing all the time, as you can tell. But if you do have that shield break charge, there you go, charge with light just by doing that. I gotta find our barrier guy more than most things. I'm gonna die. He's so low. I think I missed my whole window on that barrier knight, sadly. At some point I'm probably gonna have to go roaming for ammo, which is probably gonna be a super situation. Those guys are great for shield break charges too, if you ever get a shot at one. If I can ever get them to peek. Hey, we got one less. Now what I did last time, I basically just finished up the boss, got my Thunder Crash, and nuked him. I'm not going to get the chance to do that this time. Now is one of those dumb moments when I go to grab ammo. In a fun way. Oh, man. Protective light once again doing its thing. Get one, at least one charge with light will help. Come on. One more bullet. There, he's stunned. I want to go for the kill. Okay, that was a little aggressive, but sometimes you got to do it. Trying to save this ammo because I'm going to need it for the wizard. And hopefully the boss, if I can get some stacks here. Not fair. Kind of cheating, actually. Now, the reason I cast my super... No, you do not. Is to try and stay alive. I didn't even want to do that, but that's literally like the panic super to stay alive. Sadly, nothing more. There's not many guys left, though, so at some point I do actually have to go for a damage phase here. I want to make sure as much is dead as possible. Ooh, that hit hard. Alright, so there's the stun. Now if I can go grab this. But now he's going to run after me like crazy. But he doesn't have a ton of health. So I got to go for one more shot, and he's dead. He doesn't have a ton of health. You just got to take a chance to actually get some shots off. I shouldn't have to kill everything. It should clear out once it's all gone. But yeah, about 45 minutes of chaos there. That one's hard. That's why I was like, the first two are really not that bad, but the third beacon makes up for it. As opposed to last week when the second beacon was chaos and the third one was a bit more manageable. But you'll run back here, get your Techian, and we'll wrap this thing up once we get back to the service. So see you guys back in orbit. I have no idea if I can get a grenade over there, but I'm going to try. Oh my god, I actually got one over there. That might be the grenade throw of my life. I don't know if I could do that again if I tried. You can do most of what you need to. There's your Shrieker. And this is also why you don't want to be over here. Use this pillar as Shrieker cover. Trying to get some health up. Then clear a couple of these out of here. Ah, damn. That's no longer flawless. There's your Shrieker. Oh, this is so bad. Oh, come on. Right at 30% too. Oh, dude. That's garbage, dude. They will teleport on your butt. There's a triumph for completing one of these. So all you got to do is one of the three. There's a triumph to do them all, but the one for the seal, like the whatever the season seal is, it's only just you have to do one. Technically, there's something for all three, but it's not required. Oh, God. But that basically wraps it up. It's chaos. And honestly, for recommendations, I think, honestly, I would go with Borealis because the sniper works better at range. You're going to have a bit more accuracy at range. If you do go Borealis, you can literally buy a Tarantula from Banshee, so even if you don't have a good linear fusion, you can go buy one that has field prep, so you got a lot of reserves. Make sure if you do go Sniper, you get some Sniper reserves in there, or at least maybe some Sniper ammo finder, some Scavenger, something to help with that ammo. And then up here, trying to find an ammo auto rifle with range. Like, this one worked really, really well. Doesn't specifically have to have Subsistence Rampage, that's just a great combination for continual PvE damage output, but auto rifles with range will really help. As you saw in that room, I'm trying to hit guys deep into the room with my auto rifle. The more you've got, the better. But breaking shields with Borealis is going to be easier. Hard light, also very good for breaking shields. You've got ricochet rounds, bonus damage on bounce, which you're probably not going to get much out of, but either of these are going to be viable. Put your damage up here. If you've got Borealis, I would put that over hard light, because then your auto rifle up here can still put in some work. If you guys did enjoy this video, you guys know these aren't easy to put together, so please drop a like below. If you've got a loadout that you used for any class, any exotics or anything, please put those in the comments below so we can share and try and get some good information for everybody. If you guys want to find me on Twitter, it is at Ebontis. For streaming, it's either twitch.tv/Ebontis or right here on YouTube. So if you guys do want to see when I go live, hit that subscribe button, hit the alert bell, and if you want to support me directly, you can join the channel as a member for emotes and stuff for chat and everything like that. You can also find me on Patreon. Thank you very much. I'll see you soon.